Hello everyone, welcome back to my commentary channel. I'm happy you could join me today. Today we're going to be talking about how overthinking and amped up expectations can ruin media that's trying to tell a more grounded story. And because you've read the title, you know that we're going to be specifically talking about Disney's WandaVision. WandaVision is a TV show about two superheroes trying to live a quiet life in the suburbs while avoiding the truth about their problems. It's a witch and a robot living in the suburbs. I mean, who wouldn't watch that? But there's a good chance I don't need to explain it to you, because WandaVision is the #1 TV show in the world right now, with millions of unique viewers, so there's a good chance you've at least heard of it. By the way, in this video, I will be talking about things that have already happened on the show, so if you don't want spoilers, you can leave this video, watch the show first, and then come back. But if you're caught up or don't care, then let's keep going. So like me, a lot of people are really enjoying the show. The show is intentionally misleading, and it reveals a little bit more of the mystery with every episode that comes out. And this makes it a fun show to discuss with other viewers as people theorize about where the show is going to go. At least, it should have been. And now we have to get into why I'm making a video about this. As I mentioned, WandaVision is the #1 TV show in the world right now. This means that WandaVision posts on social media are attracting more views and clicks than ever. Every superhero/comic page on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter is pumping out content based on the show. Sometimes it's episode reviews, sometimes it's Easter eggs, sometimes it's memes, but more often than not, it's theories. Naturally, people are trying to predict how the show is going to end. And it's a mystery show, so I get that. But if you've paid attention to some of these theories, you know that some people are expecting too much of this show. And I should note before we continue that I am filming this on Thursday, which is a day before the Friday release of the final episode. So I do not know how this show ends. But what I do know is that no matter what happens, it's not going to please everyone. Some people believe that since a cicada was seen on the window, the Marvel equivalent of the devil will show up because he was introduced as a fly in the comics. Some people think that the government agent who's hunting down Wanda and Vision is secretly a previous Marvel robot villain wearing a human skin suit as a costume. I've seen too many theories about the multiverse and the X-Men that the expectations of this show are starting to run wild. And these channels and accounts are profiting off of every wild theory that they can push out there because people are engaging with this content. Fucking film theory is having a field day with this show. And the more that people discuss these theories, the more they actually want them to come true. And the fact of the matter is that with all of these different outlandish theories taking hold of a lot of people and growing with every passing minute, the real answer to the mystery might not satisfy all of those people. And this is how I know. In an earlier episode, one of the characters said that they were going to contact an aerospace engineer to help them. And as soon as that episode stopped, fan theories went crazy. Social media was on fire saying, this is how they introduce Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. Like, he's the aerospace engineer. And then other people were like, no, this is Hank McCoy, Beast from X-Men. This is how they introduce him. And then in the next episode, it was revealed that it was actually just an aerospace engineer. Like, just a regular person, not a comic book character. And people were pissed. People were actually frustrated that that little throwaway line was not a hint to introducing a major Marvel character. Like, they were actually angry that the theory that they came up with, based on liminal evidence, didn't pay off. I think it's a mistake to hold the media we consume to extremely high standards. WandaVision has been a very unanimous hit so far because a lot of people can engage with the mystery of the show. But once the finale of this show comes out and this story is brought to an end, I think a lot of people are going to be upset that the show did not give them everything that the theories were expecting. It's going to be what happened with this engineer, just on a much larger scale. Paul Bettany, the actor who plays the robot, said in an interview that there was a surprise actor who he had been looking forward to working with for a very long time. And as soon as this interview came out, fans exploded with theories trying to figure out who this secret actor was. Like, they went through Paul Bettany's acting history to like check off who he's already worked with. And they like looked at his school and like other actors who went to his school. They became detectives trying to figure out who this secret actor could be. And then in the second to last episode, spoilers, it's revealed that the humans built a second robot to fight Vision, who's also played by Paul Bettany, which means that the secret actor that Paul Bettany was talking about having never worked with before was actually himself. Like, he's acting opposite himself. He was doing like cheeky British humor. And personally, I think that's a good joke. It's fun misdirection. Other people were not as cheerful about it. People are pissed off. They're mad at Paul Bettany for making a joke about acting with himself just because they thought that Magneto was going to show up. Like, who cares? Episode 8 of the show consisted mostly of backstory, where the character Wanda reveals more of her origins and her trauma that's been a driving force for her throughout the show. It's a polarizing episode that really recontextualizes most of the show and makes you understand the hurt that this character is carrying with them. And people hated this episode because there wasn't any big CGI fight and it didn't move the plot forward.
Here's my review on WandaVision episode 8. Spoilers ahead. Now guys, I don't want to say this, but this episode was extremely underwhelming for me. I get that we got a ton of backstory on Wanda and a ton of flashback scenes, but this episode didn't progress the story any further.
I'm sorry, what did you think the flashback scenes were for? We've reached the point where people are mad at character development just because it doesn't introduce a big new villain. Because we're reaching the final days before the final episode comes out, these overactive fans are getting really antsy because there's no Magneto or multiverse or any of their big theories coming true. They're angry about what they're not getting instead of what they have been getting. And that's dumb. For some reason, a lot of these fans feel a lot of entitlement. And I don't know if that's because these fans haven't gotten a Marvel movie in a year, or maybe since they just did their big whole Endgame thing, they want like the next big villain to be introduced. I don't know. I see nothing wrong with a TV show about two side characters trying to live a normal, quiet life away from all the action. Like, that's an interesting character choice for this show to look at. And now people are mad that these two characters are not in any action, even though the whole point of the show is that they're trying to avoid the action. Like, I'm in film school. I take writing classes and like directing and screenplay classes. And this show has like good legs to stand on. So it's frustrating to me that people are like, where's the giant CGI fight? But this is what really convinced me to make this video, however. The director of WandaVision, of the show, has gone on the record saying that a lot of these fan theorists are going to be disappointed by the finale. He is fully expecting people to disappoint themselves by the expectations they've set up. He says that the story is about this character dealing with grief and learning how to accept loss. It's an intimate character study on someone willing to create their own reality to avoid facing an uncomfortable truth. The core of this story is the very human desire to avoid pain, even by deluding yourself. It's a powerful topic. And yet fans are just going to be angry because their theory about the literal devil showing up isn't going to come true. And that feels unfair to me. I get that it's fun to theorize about a TV show. Like, I watch a lot of mystery shows where there's a big question that you're waiting for an answer for. And it is fun to think about the different possibilities of where the show could go. But I also don't let my expectations run too high to where the real answer of the show is going to disappoint me. To me, it's unhealthy to approach TV shows like this. And I get that because this show is part of one of the biggest franchises in the world, I understand that people expect a lot from it. But if this show ends up being a small, character-driven story about reckoning with grief, it will make me happy. and it'll make a lot of other people not. I do think there is a healthy way to talk about shows on social media. I like the memes that WandaVision has made, and people discussing the show's merits and shortcomings is a natural part of media analysis. My issue is with the fans who expect too much of the show. It's like asking for 10 things for Christmas and getting upset when you get 7. In a few hours of me recording this, WandaVision will be over, and then we will have to deal with the fallout of whatever the finale is and whether the fans accept it or not. Maybe I'm catastrophizing. Maybe nothing will happen and the fans will be okay with it. Or maybe Mephisto and Magneto will show up and all the fan theories will come true and people will be happy. I don't know. It's hard to predict. But I want us to learn from this experience if we can, because there's no way to change these social media superhero accounts from pushing content out like every couple of minutes. That's their job. I don't blame them for that. But what can we learn from this? The next time a huge show like this is approaching the end to its big question, maybe we as an audience need to curb our expectations of the ending changing our lives. At the end of the day, maybe we just need to lower our expectations and enjoy this simple show about a telekinetic abuse victim who's created her own sitcom world where she has kids with her robot husband. Oh my god, this show is insane. Me saying it out loud, like it clicked. Like, oh my god, what the hell am I talking about? Thank you all for watching this rant of a video to the very end. I appreciate it. Here are my social medias in case you want to connect with me outside of YouTube. I promise I don't post about WandaVision, so don't worry about that. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. I will see you back here for the next video. Have a great day. I love you lots. Bye.